Close your eyes.
This world is not what you think it is.
Kill the programming.
This world is not what you think it is.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Paul Cunningham, Capricorn Control. At the present time, all systems are go, all lights are green. The crew is now in the gantry access arm where they're preparing to enter the spacecraft. We're at T-minus 30 minutes and counting, and this is Capricorn Control.
Well, gentlemen, let's go to Mars.
Crew, would you and your men please follow me?
Are you nuts?
I said there's no time to explain. This is an emergency. Please follow me, now!
The Apollo 11 moon landing was truly a momentous occasion in history. It was broadcast all over the world. Everyone was stunned and amazed. But what if this was all a fake? What if it was all a lie? What we see on TV can be faked. How do we know that man actually landed on the moon? Conspiracy theorists will tell you it was a complete hoax. Director Peter Hyams, while working at CBS on the broadcasts of the Apollo moon landing, came up with an idea for a film about a space mission that was a total fake. He began to think about the Apollo 11 moon landing. How do people know this event is totally real and not a complete fraud? There are no witnesses that would confirm it is real. Our only confirmation of the event is from a TV camera. It can easily be faked. Hyams said, I grew up in the generation where my parents basically believed it. If it was in the newspaper, it was true. So I was watching these simulations and I wondered what would happen if someone faked a whole story.
Robert Osborne, I'm joined once again by former NASA astronaut and author of this new book, Magnificent Desolation, Dr. Buzz Aldrin. Welcome back, Buzz.
Thanks, Robert. Always great to be here.
Good to have you here. Now, up next we have a film that I imagine doesn't rank among one of Dr. Aldrin's favorite movies because it's all about a government conspiracy to fake a manned mission to Mars. It's Capricorn 1 from director Peter Hyams and starring Hal Holbrook, James Brolin, and Elliot Gould. Just how do you feel about this movie, sir?
Well, you know, it could have been made about the future, but it had all the equipment showing the launch that was Apollo equipment, the Saturn V lifting off, and the spacecraft were Apollo command modules. So I'm sure that a lot of people came away after seeing this movie and saying, they're not talking about Mars. This is really because they faked the mission to the moon with Apollo and it never happened. The story could have been told maybe about some good reason why, after making all the plans to go to Mars, and you find there's a flaw in the plan, that you're going to start lying to everybody and think you're going to get away with it and carry it out as if nothing went wrong, and you're gonna fake it all
And nobody's
along.
ever going to talk?
I mean, the impossibility of something like that ever happening.
So anyway, interesting thesis in a movie, but it's a fantasy movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are T-minus 18 seconds from liftoff. We're T-minus 15 seconds.
Would you and your men please follow me?
Jerry, what the hell is this?
This is an emergency. Please follow me, now!
T-minus 10 seconds. 9, 8. We have ignition. 6, 5. We have outboard engines. 3. We have inboard engines. 1, 0. We have a launch commit. We have a liftoff at 35 minutes after the hour.
Every split second of this historic flight, every intimate detail, every heartbeat was monitored by Mission Control in Houston.
This is Capricorn 1. We have landed.
As millions all over the world watched and listened, the President of the United States spoke to the astronauts across the vastness of space.
To the men of Capricorn 1, I bring you greetings from your fellow Americans.
There's only one small catch. It never happened. It's all a lie, a fantastic $30 billion hoax.
Something's wrong, and I don't know what it is.
Dig deep enough, you might uncover the truth.
Those signals couldn't have come from 300 miles.
But the odds are you'll never live to tell it.
Freeze!
I'm not moving an inch.
They're on the plane together. There's a device. It's on the plane. There's some people. If I don't give them the all-clear signal, they'll explode it.
Something's wrong. Something big. They know I'm onto it, and they try to kill me.
Who's they?
I can't tell you.
We are dead.
You tell me you're in trouble, you're out on bail, you just got fired, I tell you I'll be right over.
My head hurts.
You look awful.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
These people are capable of it.
You sound so close. It's hard to believe you really are that far away in space.
It's hard for me to believe it, too.
You're up to something. You want my help.
It's gotten out of control. It's too big.
Capricorn 1, this is Houston. Capricorn 1, we show red on the heat shield. Capricorn 1, this is Houston. We show red on the heat shield. Do you read?
Pull that lever down by your feet when I tell you, Sonny.
Capricorn 1, the mission that never got off the ground.
Question and answer. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Apollo 11 crew. Astronauts Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, Edwin Aldrin. Neil?
It was our pleasure to have participated in one great adventure. It's an adventure that took place not just in the month of July, but rather one that took place in the last decade. We all here and the people listening in today had the opportunity to share that adventure over its developing and unfolding in the past months and years. It's our privilege today to share with you some of the details of that final month of July that was certainly the highlight for the three of us of that decade. We're going to divert a little bit from the format of past press conferences and talk about the things that interested us most, in particular the things that occurred on and about the moon. We will use a number of films and slides which most of you have already seen.
Today we have with us a group of students among America's best. To you we say we've only completed a beginning. We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know what I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. Money is a good thing.
I don't want to be presumptuous here. I can call you Buzz? Okay.
That's a legal name. Passport, driver's license.
And I am Uncle Coney tonight. Let's talk about this, because this is fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up, and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. So you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
I know.
Well, no, but what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened.
Talking about, how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said, contact light, engine stop.
It was exciting.
A few other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
No way. That's great.
We landed on the moon. They've run out of anecdotes, and they just start making stuff up.
Yeah.
Like that Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story.
Yeah.
Man, and they're buying it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot more to the story. You can search about Gus Grissom and Liberty Bell 7 that he was in, where the capsule mysteriously blew the hatch when he was out in the ocean and very nearly drowned. And there's a lot to the story. I'm sure NASA would love for it to just be swept under the rug. And so, in that spirit, I am going to repost this old footage.
Virgil Gus Grissom was selected as one of the original 7 astronauts. A family man and a veteran of several space flights, he was a national hero and was likely to be the first man to walk on the moon. But Grissom was also an outspoken critic of the space program and was quoted as saying, "Someone's going to get killed." Unfortunately, Grissom's worst fears were soon realized. On January 27, 1967, 2 years before the first moon landing, Grissom and his crew boarded the Apollo 1 capsule for a full-scale simulation. The problems began almost immediately. First, the capsule's communication systems failed.
You copy? No, I didn't read you, Chuck, at all. I can't read you, Chuck. You want to try the phone? How do you get the moon? We can't talk between 3 buildings. I can't hear it.
Suddenly, the capsule burst into flames with the astronauts sealed inside. Tragically, Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee lost their lives before ever leaving the launch pad. Gus Grissom's family believes the Apollo 1 fire was no accident.
I think it was intentionally sabotaged by someone. It's been a question in my mind, what was found in the accident investigation and how was that handled? Was the CIA involved or whoever? But it was done intentionally.
Grissom's family doesn't know who was responsible for his death or why it happened. But they say NASA knows the truth.
Gus gave his life for this program, and I feel like that it is up to NASA to come forward and give us a direct answer to what really happened.
Were Gus Grissom and the Apollo 1 astronauts victims of a tragic accident? Or were they intentionally silenced because they knew too much? We may never know. The cause of the fire is still a mystery, and the capsule remains locked away at a military base. But Grissom wasn't the only Apollo critic to meet with a suspicious and untimely death. Thomas Ronald Barron was a safety inspector during Apollo 1's construction. After the fire, Barron testified before Congress that the Apollo program was in such disarray that the United States would never make it to the moon. He claimed his opinions made him a target.
Has there been any pressure on you by NASA?
Nothing. We were, my wife and I were somewhat harassed at home when the first thing broke some time back, but it's going away now.
As part of his testimony, Barron submitted a 500-page report detailing his findings.
There was a real fear that the program could be stopped dead in its tracks.
Then exactly 1 week after he testified, Barron's car was struck by a train. Barron, his wife, and stepdaughter were killed instantly.
I believe that Thomas Ronald Barron was murdered because he had the truth to tell about the Apollo project.
Barron's report mysteriously disappeared, and to this day, it has never been found.
Turn this place into a karaoke bar. Oh man, that's the best idea since they faked the moon landing.
Okay, cut.
Wow, Neil Armstrong. Hey, wait a minute. You're supposed to be on the moon. I just saw it on TV.
Oh, there's a tape delay and with all solar winds.
Stop worshiping me! I'm just a big fake, like the moon landing.
And talk about the things that interested us most, in particular the things that occurred on and about the moon. We will use a number of films and slides which most of you have already seen, with the intent of pointing out some of the things that we observed on the spot, which may not be obvious to those of you who are looking at them here from the surface of Earth.
Under the Masonic moon, plans were made by the bankers in the back room. Get the president out of the way and hire Stanley Kubrick. Under the Masonic moon, under the Masonic moon, everyone hoped that the boys would come home soon. One more day and they'll drop from the plane and splash into the ocean. Under the Masonic moon, Werner von Braun and his conspirators got a free ride to the States. They turned Nazi into NASA. They just couldn't wait. Under the Masonic moon, under the Masonic moon, plans were made by the bankers in the back room. The owl sees into the night and the secret will never be told. Under the Masonic moon, under the Masonic moon. plans were made by the bankers in the back room. The owl sees into the night, and the secret will never be told.
99, proceeded, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston. Red, good.
The owl sees into the night, and the secret will never be told.
Okay, 30 seconds. 308 your number. Okay, coming through 1,500 feet, and H-dot looks good. Right away, Houston.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.